Good evening, Raskin enjoyers. I hope you're doing alright, because it's time for the predictions video. Yes, get a good look at all of these brand new skins that rotated into the Rust store just a good few hours ago, because we're going to go ahead and try and figure out which of these skins potentially might be the best investment this week, which of these skins potentially might give us some of those sweet, delicious looking profits. Right, so let's just jump straight in. Let's start talking about Frontier Rustic Garage Door. So literally 1 week after the arrival of that see-through mesh sheet metal door being accepted, we immediately see another door skin being accepted. Very nice. So potentially in the horizon, and you know I was going to say this, we immediately might potentially have a brand new deployable collection ahead of us. So maybe an armoured door, maybe a double sheet metal door, maybe a wooden door. At the end of the day, there's a lot of potential there. And I'm not surprised something like this was accepted because, of course, somewhat recently we had the likes of the Frontier Decor Pack. And, well, a lot of people have been appreciating it. And with the likes of these skins over here, it blends in ever so nicely. If you can look at the workshop real quickly, get a good look at this. You can see, blends in ever so nice. And if you had some of the imagery, yes, you've got the barrels there. Very nice, very peaceful. Probably very favourable for a lot of role players. But we need to specifically talk about the likes of the garage door. Which, again, you know, does also have that very nice comfy feel with it. Lots of perfect imagery to showcase this skin. But the main thing we need to be aware of is this particular image right here. The garage door also has see-through mesh. And now we need to make some comparisons, don't we? Yes, we do, because we need to figure out where potentially does this stand. Where will this potentially end up at? So, again, let's just get this across to all of you. This is selling for $3. Let's now remind ourselves of the other see-through mesh garage doors that we know of fairly nicely. We have the likes of... sorry, I meant to go to here. Brutalist garage door. So right now this is selling for $5. Very nice. It was selling at a higher price. How high were we? We were going up to about $5.50 at one point. Kind of cooled off a fair bit, probably because of the arrival of the garage door today. But anyway... So this is comfortably at $5. There's not really that much like resistance. This could go back up again in price. And we do know that there is another Brutalist door skin that was produced this past weekend, that being the sheet metal double door. So things could still work out very nicely for this, but at the moment you've got a lot of transparency, it's glow in the dark, $5, cool. Now with the likes of our brand new Frontier Rustic garage door right here, we should also be aware of how much that garage door sold. So we just quickly hop over to here. That garage door, the Brutalist garage door, that did almost 30,000 bare minimum sales. If we can see right here, where is it? Oh, it doesn't exist. There it is. 29,000 bare minimum. So that's based on subscriber count. We don't know fully how much they potentially bought, but we do know 29,000 individual people bought that skin. So just keep that in mind. And right now, as you look at this has only got 2,426. We can't really make comparisons right now because this has only been here for a good few hours. But with the likes of how much that sheet metal door sold for, 9,700 bare minimum, and you compare that with the likes of what we saw with the Brutalist sheet metal door, yeah, the numbers aren't really matching up. So I get the feeling that this is going to sell a lot less compared to the Brutalist garage door, but that, of course, could work out very nicely for this in its favour. But again, let's also make another comparison, because there is another garage door out there that has see-through mesh, and it's the Bombshell garage door. And yes, this is a fair bit cheaper compared to the Brutalist. It's only $1 cheaper, but then again, you got like a bit of a straggler there. It could go back up in price. Again, no resistance. This could still go back up in price, and I wouldn't be surprised if it does. So yeah, there are some things to compare to, and of course, I do have some imagery. So if we quickly hop over to here, if you're wondering, Hedge, can I just stand up and look immediately through the holes? No, you cannot. You can't see anything. You have to stand on something, maybe like a fireplace or something. But yeah, you're going to need a bit of a boost just to be able to see through the gaps. And then if we just do a nice little comparison of various garage doors, so we've got the likes of the Brutalist, we've got the brand new Frontier Rustic, we've got Bombshell, and just for a laugh, we've got Chop Shop. So thanks to Sloth for doing this nice image. So anyway, let's just kind of get this across. These two skins, yeah, they don't have glow in the dark. This does. All of the see-through mesh seems to be around in the same position. But of course, this is like one of the first ever garage door skins to be accepted, so that sells for like $50. But that, you know, that's just kind of there as a joke. This is $5, this is $4, this is $3. Please take this into consideration that it's becoming apparent that see-through mesh on a garage door isn't really that special anymore. we're seeing this more and more and more and more. Loads of pay to win, yay! But I did make this point earlier. If you were to take a look at all the garage doors that came out this year, we've actually had quite a lot of see-through mesh, especially with Twitch drops. At the very beginning of this year, we had 2 Twitch drops given away for free. We had the Rad garage door, which was glow-in-the-dark, and that had see-through mesh at the bottom and literally in the middle. You could just straight up see through that. That was given away for free. And then you had H-June's garage door, which just had a little peephole. That was cute. Dungeon garage door, technically speaking, has see-through mesh at the very bottom. If you kind of like orient your base in a way in which you're below that garage door, you can see underneath, you can see feet and whatnot. You could be prepared for something like that. People might be camping outside your base. But yeah, that's helpful. And then, of course, recently we've had the likes of this. We had the likes of the Charitable Rust garage door. And then we had the likes of this Frontier Rustic garage door. We've had a lot of garage door skins this year. And I wouldn't be surprised if next year we also have a whole bunch. And I wouldn't be surprised if, content creators are probably, thinking, I need to get a skin made as a Twitch drop. Well, if we're getting a lot of leniency or transparency, what's stopping those content creators from getting a garage door with see-through mesh as well? Because it doesn't look like, it honestly does not look like a problem for Face Punch anymore. They're just like, yeah, go on, you might as well. And then also take this into consideration. We're seeing more of these see-through mesh garage doors being accepted in Rust doors. Other skin creators are going to take notice. Other skin creators are going to be producing skins exactly like this. Like, for example, upon seeing the likes of the Brutalist Sheepman door being accepted, I've seen more skin creators making Sheepman doors with transparency. That is becoming a much more prominent thing. So once the skin creators are aware, once the content creators are aware, you're going to just keep seeing more and more of these doors with see-through mesh. So, in the future, you're going to have to be prepared for that all right? So, it was a little bit like, I don't want to fearmonger, but you get the idea. Little by little, bit by bit, the see-through mesh is becoming less special. But let's now specifically talk about this skin. What is its future potentially looking like? Well, we actually had the skin creator appear earlier in my stream and we were discussing what he could potentially do next. A lot of people pushing for double Sheepman Adore and whatnot. I don't think that's going to be too hard to accomplish, especially with the single Sheepman Adore already being produced. So yeah, maybe we're going to potentially see some interesting things in the workshop. And then we have to question, well, will we see Brutalist Sheepman Adore or will we see this Frontier Rustic potential Sheepman Adore? At the moment, I cannot verify if it's going to happen because we need to see if it's actually produced. If we keep seeing more skins being produced for this proposed collection, everything could, constantly improve. Deplorable collection, very nice. It would be lovely, wouldn't it? So, we don't need to rush into buying this. It's abnormal. Yay! Oh, you knew I was going to lead to that, didn't you? But there's one more thing that I want to point out, and that is the Frontier building skin. This actually hasn't properly released yet. I'm not sure why. Technically, it's out there. It is out there, but it's not actually properly released. So yes, we did get the decor pack, but we never actually got the actual Frontier building skin, which is weird. Now, this was known since like August, properly revealed back in September, as you can see right here. Thank you, Rustified. But yeah, if this actually properly releases, potentially, maybe the beginning of December, or maybe at some point in 2024, who knows? Like, maybe they're not super happy with this at the moment. But I kid you not, if this were to be released, this is called Frontier. It's part of the Frontier content and whatnot. Don't you think the likes of many people will probably look at these doors and think, you know what, I'm going to go buy some of these now because it clearly is supposed to be paired up with the Frontier building skin. Just remember that. You know how we've made a big fuss about gingerbread doors and whatnot, deplorables and whatnot, because we're expecting, what is it? The gingerbread building skin in December. We know that's coming. We know it's coming, 100%. We knew that buying the doors would be a great investment, didn't we? So, yeah, because it doesn't come with doors, does it? It doesn't come with garage doors, double doors, Sheepman doors. You understand that process. So, with the likes of this, could that work out for the likes of these two skins? I think it would. I think it could work out very nicely. So, you can understand I'm confident with it. But again, still, I want to see how many sales happen. I'm not expecting a ton. I'm expecting quite a lot less. But again, I'd rather wait until Wednesday because being patient is very rewarding. It's better to be smarter approaching this rather than rushing straight into it. But at the end of the day, if you like what you see, by all means, buy it, use it, enjoy it, support the skin creator, keep them motivated, keep pumping out very nice creative skins. But yeah, things are looking quite positive for this skin right here. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it gets to a point where we'll just buy these. It's the cheapest see-through mesh garage door that we currently have. And that's appealing. So that's nice. So I now have to talk about another skin. And unfortunately, I'm not that confident in everything else, unfortunately, purely based on how I expect other people to behave around these skins. But I can still see some potential things working out with a smart buy order. But I should also point out we also do need to keep an eye on the amount of sales. So let's now move on to talking about the likes of the Hardsuit Kilt. So this took forever to finally be accepted. Hardsuit Tier 2 finally appeared after many attempts. It's here. It came out like 6 months after Hoodie and Pants and Tier 3 armor, which is a fair bit awkward. But the other awkward thing is, with the recent sales we've been seeing in our Rust stores, if you were to make a comparison to the sales that this Tier 3 armor had and the Hoodie and Pants had, well, I get the feeling that this might not sell that much. And, well, if this sells less than the likes of this, things could it could work out very nicely for the Tier 2 armor. So we actually talked about that not too long ago in regards to the Abyss Hoodie and Pants. And, well, there you go. It's very nicely in. So what happened here? This sold quite a fair bit less in comparison to the likes of the Tier 2 armor. And then, of course, by a lot in comparison to the Tier 3 armor. So what tends to happen is, with core pieces, I'm talking Hoodie and Pants, Tier 2 armor, and Tier 3 armor, the core pieces, the skins that sell the least, well, if everybody likes the collection and they're actively buying it, the ones that have the lowest quantity in circulation more likely are going to be the ones that are going to be the highest price because there's less of them, and theoretically speaking, less of them available for full collections, if that makes sense. So if there's demand for the collection, the skins are going to get bought out. If there's less of them, all the better for it to rise up in price. It's not too hard to comprehend that, and that's worked out very nicely for the Hoodie and Pants here. So anyway, hopping back over to the likes of what we have over here, with the likes of our Tier 2 armor, because it is different. This is Tier 2 armor. The main thing we're going to probably focus is the likes of this Kilt. And, well, I'm looking at this and I'm kind of expecting that it probably might only end up with like 10 to 15,000 sales. So if we just make a quick comparison again to the likes of the Hoodie and Pants and the Tier 3, well, I'd fully expect us to sell less than the Tier 3. That is an expectation. And with the likes of the Hoodie and Pants here, well, this did just about 17,000 bare minimum sales. So, yeah, the Kilt, very likely at the current moment, purely based with speculation, that this is going to sell fairly less compared to these, and quite a lot less compared to Tier 3 armor. So this actually might be a pretty interesting thing to consider investing into. But again, how much will this sell? And then we shouldn't neglect the idea of looking at the likes of the vest and the coffee can, because in many instances of complete collections, the vest and the coffee can do get neglected. A prime example is Forest Raiders. You go take a look at all of these, and get a good look at all their prices as well. Look at the sales. Tier 3 did around just under 30,000 bare minimum sales. Hoodie and Pants, just under 30,000 bare minimum sales. The Kilt, same thing, just under 30,000 bare minimum sales. But the other Tier 2 pieces of armor, the vest and the helmet, well, they did significantly less. 22,600 bare minimum sales, and this did 21,000 bare minimum sales. Look at it by price as time has gone on, and look what's happened. This is high in price, this is high in price, but these other pieces, well, they're higher in price, but not as high as the likes of this and this. So, yes, you can see the likes of these going up in value pretty nicely if the collection is in demand. And that's another thing now. There are no other clothing and armor pieces that's going to cause any of these to spike in demand, spike in price. We already have boots and gloves. So my answer to you is, will people actually be wanting to use this collection? That's the final question. And if you're not confident in that, maybe you don't want to jump in and invest into this. Because if you don't think people are actually going to want to use this set, then why would you want to invest into the skins? If that makes sense to you. So that's the final main question. And if there's no demand for the full set, then awkward. So like I said, I'd rather just wait it out. I'd rather see how things progress, and then I'll make decisions. It's smarter to wait it out first, look at how everybody else is reacting, then kind of build up a good idea. Now, I should also point out the Kilt and the vest are abnormal, but not the coffee can. But we mainly care about the Kilt. So on Wednesday, we'll figure out what's going to go on, what's happening based on the amount sold, and we'll discuss if there's actual genuine demand for the Hardsuit set, and then we'll figure out a decent price to offer for all of these skins. Sounds good? Awesome. Next up, I'm somewhat interested in Banditos. First of all, this potentially might be the very beginning of a brand new set of clothing and armor. Plus, I do like the designs. So, with the likes of Frontier, the pack and whatnot that came out, a lot of people have attributed it to being like Wild West, cowboys and whatnot. And look at this, of course, I'm not surprised this is, accepted now. So, very nice, very cool. And this is the best picture, especially with the bandana there. That looks awesome. I can imagine a lot of people are going to definitely appreciate this whole design. But would it work with Tier 2 and Tier 3 armor? I don't know. Will that actually work? Would it actually look good? So from here, we need to see what the skin creators are planning to do next. Got to keep an eye on the comments. You've got to keep an eye on the workshop to see what's happening next. I'd like to see some Tier 2 and Tier 3 armor because I'm curious to see how it might look. But would it actually look good with the designs of what we have here? That's the awkward thing. But yes, I will quickly point this out to you. If you were to go look up cowboy stuff, any cowboy themed skins, they've been spiking in demand, spiking in price ever since the likes of the base decor pack came out. So Cowboy Sheriff right here, get a good look at this. It's basically doubled in price over the course of 2 weeks. So yes, the decor pack came out at the beginning of November. And then, whoop, look at that. Look at that spike in demand. Cowboy stuff's on the rise. And then you go to here. And you look at this. So this is $10 as well. And yep. So maybe this one wasn't as high. But it still clearly literally happened over 2 weeks. So interesting things. So if we also do potentially see that Frontier building skin. And maybe, maybe they lean more into the Wild West theme. Maybe that might happen. Yeah, you might see some more of these Bandito skins being accepted, potentially. And maybe a lot more people jump in and, want to wear cowboy theme stuff. We'll see, we'll see. So, like I said, you have to be keeping an eye on the likes of the workshop. Yeah, maybe the likes of this and this are only going to help improve for the things like this. But yeah, again, I need to see how much sells. I need to see if we do see continuations, being prepared over the course of the weekend with the workshop skins. And yeah, this is not abnormal, so we don't have that time advantage. It's a little bit awkward. Yeah. But by default, if we were to see Tier 2 armor, if we were to see Tier 3 armor being accepted, it's going to go up in value. It's going to spike in demand, spike in price. We can keep an eye on the sales. We can do that. With the likes of all of these, just above it at the moment, this clearly has more interest compared to this at the moment. Fair enough, that's understandable. But again, we just literally had a big rush store. And over the course of the 6 days, yes, this only consisted of 6 days, so that contributes to the low sales. But yeah, with a lot of skins being available, we do tend to see a lot less sales for some of the skins. So maybe this Banditos pair probably doesn't sell that much. And all the better for it to potentially rise up in price. So again, this is why we wait until Wednesday. Then we make decisions. Sounds good? Right. So yeah, unfortunately with the other skins, I'm a fair bit nah. I like the furnace. I got to send my props to Vase and Lynx because you might not instantly notice it, but if you actually look at what's on this skin, well, if I were to tell you Vase was one of the people behind the porcelain set, the porcelain deplorables that we've seen, you can now realise that he's been quite the artist. Get a good look at all of this, all the nice little panorama design all around the furnace. Do you see it? Do you understand it? Do you appreciate it? Will everybody appreciate this? That's the question. And this is why I'm not that confident in it. I do think it's going to end up like most furnaces. So, yeah, this is awkward. Maybe a smart barter could work out all right, but just take a look at all of them and, yeah. So I just wanted to point out that looks cool, but, yeah, I just can't imagine it holding, I'm afraid. It's other people. If they're not aware, then awkward. Ronin, well, it's an AK, and we've had a lot of AKs accepted this year, and we've had a lot of AKs being accepted over the past 4 weeks, because quite literally, AK. But at the very least, this is part of a somewhat liked collection. We do still potentially have the potential to see Hoodie and Pants at some point in the future. But yeah, this is actually a nice looking AK. It's just I do still expect it to go down in price. I do expect other people to just kind of ditch it the very second they see another AK being in a new rust store. So yeah. But with that, with a smart buy order, anything potentially could be a profit. But again, I do expect it to go down. It's awkward. And then all of these, unfortunately, based on the fact that people just don't seem to care about hatchet and pickaxe skins, 70 cents, 90 cents, and LR300, 70 cents, 90 cents. Just go take a look at all the LR300s that came out over the past 3 years, and you can clearly see that gun demand is not very high for that LR300. All of the skins, bar a couple, they're all down to $1. Literally, like, less than $1, barely over $1, less than $1, less than $1, less than $1, less than $1. Yeah, look at all that. People don't seem to care about using LR300s. No justification in using the gun. No justification to use skins. Low skin prices. Simple math. So, yeah, awkward, but, there's your quick explanation. So, yeah, keep an eye on everything. It's mainly going to be based around sales. And, well, we're getting closer and closer to Christmas, so keep that in mind. But we do have another 2 weeks of November. One early rush store in December, then it's Christmas, and cool. So hope you've got all of your Christmas themed skins nice and prepared. It's usually the end of November for when people start to jump in and want to buy as much Christmas stuff as they can. So be prepared for that, but chances are the Christmas themed skins might peak around the middle of December, because we're going to have that Twitch Rivals event. Yes, December 11th to the 15th. And it just so happens we might potentially have the Christmas update maybe come around December 14th. We shall see. So there's a lot of potential people to jump in playing Rust around December, hopefully. Fingers crossed. So stay optimistic. We'll see how things play out. Best of luck to you and your investments. Enjoy the weekend. Keep an eye on the workshop. Catch you later. See you and goodbye.